Hello, and welcome to the short introduction of the program Business Innovation at Inholland University of Applied Science. My name is Edwin van der Sleen, and I'm the one of the lecturers at Business Innovation. And in the next 10 minutes, I will highlight some important parts of our program. The first question I want to start is why innovation? And if you look at the things happening around us, especially at this moment, you can see the need for solutions, the need for new ways of doing stuff. And we here at Business Innovation try to develop the skills to see those opportunities and to see, let's say, the possibilities to change for the good. As it says here on the left side, in an ever and faster changing world, companies and society need to adapt to these changes and look for opportunities to create value or keep creating value for their customers and or for society. So it's not only customer driven, so a customer that has a certain problem or a certain need, but it could also easily be society driven. It's about creation of value, so value is in the eyes of the user, in the eyes of the consumer. Is the customer or the user willing to pay for your solution or your product or your service? And as you can see, a lot of innovations are mostly technology driven. As you can see in the pictures here, blockchain is one of the upcoming technologies that might help in some aspects of life or society, or companies that make use of it in a wise way to show their uniqueness or their sources of their products of origin. And it's also an ethical question. So especially now, does technology really serves us always, or is it just something nice to have but not necessarily adding value to what we as a human being would value as important? So innovation is a very broad, let's say, very broad topic that captures many different elements. What our ambition at Business Innovation is to teach you to see beyond the obvious, meaning that it's not about doing business as usual, it's about challenging the status quo. And most ideas, most innovations come from frustrations on how things work and questioning those reasonings and workings of certain aspects of life. So being able to challenge those status quos gives you opportunities to discover and create opportunities towards future businesses, towards future society, products and services. An important part of what we try to teach you is not only to see those opportunities, but also in designing a solution, implementing the same solution. And that's what makes us unique in terms of business program. It's not about designing great stuff, it's also about getting it implemented in a current business context or in current society. So what does it take to really make it happen? Because there are a lot of great ideas out there, but there are not that many who are really executed properly. As a program, we have a very diverse student population, and we're very proud of that. We've coming over from more than 40 countries. Our students come from all over the world, and they all bring their own views, values, and culture within our classroom. So we use that experience and we use those values to benefit from, to experience what does it mean to work in a multicultural context. On the same way, we try to get businesses in our program with their challenges so that we can come up with solutions for them, and they're mostly willing to work with us because they want to see what the current or the next generation is thinking of their products, is thinking of how they look and see the world through their eyes. So we try to bring authenticity within the classroom to create opportunities for you to learn on real experience and real life challenges. So not something coming from the book, but really coming from questions that those companies, businesses or organizations have. Like I said, it's not only commercially driven, it's also socially driven at points in time. And we do that from a human-centered perspective. So what is the value if we look at it from a human perspective? skills development and doing stuff, because that's the only way to get skilled in something, is what we practice and what we preach within our program throughout the years. The things that we want to trigger in you is the mindset of an innovator. And here on the right side in the picture you can see some elements of what an innovator should think or feel like, or what it is mostly about. So it's always about collaboration. You don't invent it in the back of the room. It's always challenging to see what others think of it, because after all, they might be the ones that need to use your solution. It's also optimistic, because you will get disappointed sometimes. You have this great idea, but then when you go out with it and you talk to people, that sometimes they might not like it. So there has to be some perseverance in terms of, hey, do I really want to solve this issue? Then continue, go on. Okay, yes, you get your disappointment, you get your failure, but you need to carry on. If you really want to tackle this issue, keep on going. And like I said, it's experimental. It's trial and error. Try and fail. And then we have this expression, we say, fail fast, succeed faster. Also in failure, there's a lot of learning to do things differently, positively. And it's empathetic. It's understanding your user. It's understanding the society. It's understanding others. And for that, you need to also understand yourself. And it's integrative thinking, meaning it's not just by rational decision making. It's also the looks, the feel, everything surrounding it. So when you look at the keywords of it, it's about curiosity. So questioning, why is it the way it is? And it's about perseverance, getting and keep it on going while the rest would stop. It's not afraid of change, of course not, because you might be the change maker, the one who initiated it. So how do you get people on board to go along with you? It's able to connect to people, making understand their wishes, their needs, but also getting them on board for your idea, getting them to invest in your idea. Our program is, let's say, structured in, I would say here, as you can see, 5 ways. First of all, we have a core curriculum. These are the foundations of our program. So here we will teach you about traditional business disciplines. So creating a business plan, some finance, not a lot, but a little bit of finance when it comes to innovation. It's also about how to build a marketing plan. It's about design of new products and services. How do you design? Design thinking as a methodology. It's also about personal development. So who am I? What do I bring to the table? Who am I as a team player? Who am I and what do I want to contribute to this world? And of course it's about innovation. So where does innovation come from? What are sources for innovation? That takes a large part of the program, but also a very important part is our negotiated curriculum. This is one you compose yourself. So topics like Chinese Mandarin, escape room design, organizational design, all elements that you can choose as a sort of minor to create your own learning path. Students appreciate it a lot because it gives them an opportunity to dig and to learn from subjects they might not normally dig into. And they sometimes are very much triggered about the things that they see there, and it's maybe the base for further development. On the other hand, we have our study abroad. In year 2, once you completed your foundation phase with an average of 7 in 1 year, you are able to go and study abroad, and we have a network all over the world, ranging from South America to here Europe to Asia and so on. One other important aspect, work placement in year 3. During half a year you will be asked to go on a work placement, really working in a company and developing an innovation project assignment there as well. And then we have at the end of the program the graduation track, where you can choose from a macro or a micro innovation. In that respect, shortly it says something about macro is more the societal innovation, so innovations that have a purpose for society, and micro innovation is more the commercial innovation, looking at customer needs. By the way, if you look in the picture here, this is the newly built, or newly going to be built, because it's an artist impression, area in Amsterdam in the Sluisbuurt, where our school will be located. And here in the red circle, this is the artist impression of our school located in a new area. This will be in 2022 probably. So it's when you start your program next year, you will be the first ones to join this new building. As I said before, we will be the first one to be moved there and to live there, but this is an artist impression once it's all finished. So once you've finished our program, question is, what are the jobs that you can look into? Well, there are many. Mostly important, for instance, you can become an entrepreneur. We're not teaching you to become one entrepreneur, but the skill set that we develop are certainly a match to an entrepreneurial skill set. You can become an innovation manager, so leading companies towards a more innovative culture and structure. Or you can be a consultant in helping customers or companies or organizations to do better when it comes to the development of new products and services. Or here, and that's quite a new one, a chief impact officer. So more looking into what is the impact that we're having as a company, not only on the user or the consumer, but also in the supply chain or in the production of a product. So what is the impact that we're having when you look at it from a broad perspective on ecological and societal aspects as well. So here on the left you can see some examples of companies that worked with us. For instance, Philips, where one of our graduates is now working as a future strategist, or at Heineken, who says, I only want to have business innovation students as a work placement in my company for the innovation department worldwide. Or in the middle you can see Catalina Cantana, one of our first graduates, who is now traveling the world looking for the changemakers in the world and interviewing them in a very popular podcast that she has. And in the meantime now she's currently in Vietnam developing an accelerator program for startups. So you can create your own future job if you would like to, because if you are triggered by your passion and you can combine those with those entrepreneurial mindset, you will make it happen for yourself. Also a nice example, for instance, and that's the more social part, is where you can see on the right the co-creation of an educational platform for digital literacy in Somaliland, where Tess Plein, our just recent graduate, worked together with Butterfly Works, Oxfam Novib and Work in Progress on helping those people in Somaliland to develop more online skills to, let's say, be educated in more that digital environment. So there are many opportunities to look into with the skill set, but mostly we want you to do something that is really triggering your passion, because that's what we believe is the strongest motivator. So if you make a decision to join us, you will join our community, the changemaker community for innovation, as we sometimes call ourselves, because we believe that you can be taught into a changemaker. Once you understand what you can offer the world and what you are passionate about, you can make it happen for yourself and for society, because in general we believe that people want to contribute to a better world, and we are there to facilitate you and to coach you on that road. So come, enjoy, and I hope to see you soon in one of our classrooms. I want to thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can call me even or mail me even on this email address, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.